Hey, Gadsden State. I wish I was there. This is hard doing these video things, but hey, you do the best you can do here. Sorry I can't be there in person, but it is what it is. So, a lot of you maybe know me, some of you maybe don't know me. So, the first thing I wanted to do today was talk a little bit about my background. I've been doing the weather on television around here for a long time. In fact, I've been on radio and TV since, this is embarrassing, 1973. Are you kidding me? In fact, this is me when I started doing work on the radio when I was in high school. I used to be a good-looking guy with hair. I mean, my hair was down to my shoulders. I'm just telling you, if you got hair, enjoy it while it lasts. But I worked my way through high school and college at a radio station playing rock and roll music. Boy, that was a treat. That beats digging ditches, I'll tell you that. But I moved over to television in 1978 when I was in college. They gave me a chance to do weather, and I loved weather. That's my passion. And this was when I worked at Channel 13 in Birmingham, and that's me. I'm the guy down there on the right. Still had some hair, but that's basically a comb-over. And by the way, notice Pam Huff in that advertisement. I still work with Pam every day. How about that? We're still hanging in there. And mostly I've been in Birmingham. I was away in Dallas, Texas for a while. This is me working at Channel 4 in Dallas, and I was still in my 20s. And again, that's still a comb-over. I had no hair at that point. But I've been back in Birmingham since, 1989. And most people know me for doing tornado work. This is my passion. It's mitigating loss of life during severe weather and tornadoes. This was a screen grab from one of the 62 tornadoes we had back on April 27, 2011. And this was a tough day. We're coming up on the 10th anniversary next year. And on this one day, 252 people died in our state. It's inexcusable. The warnings were so good, and yet all these people died. We have a lot of work to do, all of us. In fact, I'm in the process of trying to memorize the names of everybody that died that day. I want to know their names, their stories. I don't want their memory just to go away. But these images were from some of the various tornadoes that day, and there were 62 different tornadoes, 62 different stories, and quite frankly, all of them have not been told. And we hope to do that next year as we approach the 10th anniversary. But today, briefly, I didn't want to talk about weather. I mean, we could do that all day, but I mainly wanted to talk about the storms of life, which we all have. In fact, we're all going through one now. Boy, this is one for the books. We'll be telling our kids and grandkids and great-grandkids about the great pandemic of 2020 and the weirdness that happened during the year. And I've lived through some weird stuff. Again, I've been around here a long time. I lived through the Cuban Missile Crisis. I'm originally from a small town in South Alabama called Greenville. And back in first grade, they taught us how to get under our desks because incoming nuclear missiles might rain down from the sky. And even back in those days, I'm thinking, so what good is getting under a desk if there's an incoming nuke? It's like I'd rather go outside and have a seat and watch the end of the world with a front row seat instead of being under some desk. But that was going on, and then I never thought I'd live to be 20, never. A lot of the older boys were going to this weird place called Vietnam. We didn't know what that was or where it was, but we knew that a lot of those boys weren't coming back. And we just thought we'd be shipped off over there and we wouldn't come back. I mean, I never thought I would live this long. But this is a storm, and everybody's got different types of storms in their lives. Some of you watching this do right now. And if you don't now, you will soon. I've certainly had my share. In fact, I'll share quickly probably one of my biggest storms of life. It happened when I was a kid. This is my father, and he decided to abandon me and my mom when I was in second grade. And he left without paying a dime of child support. And it was just the two of us. You see, I have no siblings. A lot of you watching this, you got all these brothers and sisters. I don't. And all of a sudden, life got kind of hard. And we would have to move away from Greenville, which I love. I call Greenville home, to this really weird-sounding place called Tuscaloosa. But I think looking back on it, that move had to happen because Tuscaloosa is the weather capital of the world. And growing up as an older child there, boy, that's really got me hooked into weather. But let me just say a few things about it, and I won't keep you long today. I don't like doing these long talks on video screens, but one good thing came about as a result of that. all of a sudden I became a low-income, fatherless child at the age of 7. And the one good thing about it, guess what I learned? In fact, let me just tell you a secret about me. This is a big secret. Don't tell anybody else, okay? I'm not really that good at anything I do. I'm not. I'm not that great at doing the weather on television. I've had no training in television. My first major in college was electrical engineering, and I finished in meteorology. They don't teach you how to do this. I've had to figure it out. And, I'm a goofy-looking guy, got no hair. I'm not that good. And I do a lot of volunteer jobs in the community. This city and the state has been very good to me. I do children's ministry at a large church. I do children's worship. I'm not the best children's worship leader. I've been volunteering in healthcare for 15 years. I am the chairman of the board of a large hospital in Birmingham. I'm not the best hospital administrator, but here's the one thing about me. This is my little secret. I will work harder than anybody else. Anybody, everybody watching this, I'll work harder than you to accomplish a goal. And that work ethic came about because of that storm in my life so long ago. I had to work. I'd go carry, golf bags for these guys at the Greenville Country Club and cut grass. I had to work, and to this day, I just don't know how to stop. So I'm thankful for learning that work ethic. But a lot of other good things came about as a result of that. So that's one thing to remember. As hard as it is, good things will come about from this. But let me just give a few tips on dealing with these storms of life when they come along. And as an older guy, I've been through so many of them. And I've been through the weirdness of these crazy times. Some of the things you can control. Some of it we bring about on ourselves. A lot of it we just can't help. But when you go through hard times, how you conduct yourself, your behavior, that really determines who you are. When everything's good, everybody can look good. But when times are hard, that's when your true character comes out. And I think the best way to ride through hard times, it is for you to have the heart of a servant. That is, you look out after the needs of other people before your own. I'm looking for those kind of people to hire. When I hire for the TV station, we have an opening right now. Want a job in TV weather? Come see me. At the hospital, whatever. One of the big characteristics I'm looking for, somebody that looks out after the needs of others. And let me just say this, I fought selfishness for a long time. In fact, I think I still do. We all do. But I've learned in life, when you have a servant's heart, then life gets pretty good. So just think about that as we go through these days. People are mad. People are frustrated. They're ready to fight. You don't believe that? Come to my face bag page. I call it face bag. The face bag and the tweeter. But I'll post a picture of a sunset, and within 5 minutes, they're fighting about politics and masks. And I think, guys, what's the matter with you? This is a picture of a sunset. Relax. One way to diffuse that is to be a person that's willing just to say encouraging words to somebody. It's not that hard. It's really not. People say, well, I can't help anybody. I don't have any money. Well, so what? Can you say something nice to somebody else? I'm desperately looking for people like that. And I'll say this, when I was going through that tough time, when I was a child, I remember we moved to Tuscaloosa, and I started 5th grade there. I finished 4th grade in Greenville. 5th grade in Tuscaloosa, a school called Verner Elementary. And the principal was a man named Archie Hitson. Back in those days, it was odd for a man to be principal of an elementary school. But I remember he would seek me out. He knew my story. And he would say things to me like, hey, you look good today. And the truth is, I know I didn't, but I started to believe this guy. And he would say things like, I believe in you. And I started to really believe that he believed in me. And he would say things like, it's going to be okay. How hard is it to do that? That man changed my life because I was scared to death. I was a stranger in a strange land, didn't know anybody. Very, very insecure. His name was Archie Hitson. I will never forget Mr. Hitson and his kind words. You can do that for somebody. You can do it in person, or you can do it online. Instead of being one of these trolls or haters or know-it-alls, like I deal with them all day. If somebody comes up to me and says a kind word, I'm blown away. I have been told that I should have been aborted by a coat hanger. These are the people I deal with. So saying a kind word, that's a big deal. Do you ever go through a drive-through I know most of you have these big home-cooked meals every night. I can't live in that world. I mean, I'm working from 4 a.m. to midnight. I've not slept since 1973. But, the deal, if you're in a drive-thru at a, hamburger joint or something, look in your rearview mirror. I dare you. And you might see a car back there, and by the countenance on their face or the type of vehicle, you know that they're having a really bad day. What do? You know what you do? You go to the window and you say, hey, I'm paying for mine, and you see the car back there, I'm paying for theirs too. And then here's the fun part. You go hide. I've seen people come up to that drive-through window and they hear that they don't know anything, and I've seen them openly weep because somebody bought them a $4 hamburger or $3 hamburger. So let me just encourage you during these times to consider being a person that looks after the needs of others before your own needs, and by that you're a person of kindness. And just a couple of other quick hints, guys. If you're looking to apply for a job with me, I'm looking for that mainly, but also somebody that's a person of integrity, doing the right thing when nobody's looking. That's a topic for another day. And finally, somebody that has a passion for what they do. They love it. They can't wait to come to work every day. People are like that. There are some out there. I have a hard time finding them, but I love people with a passion that are willing to work hard. Here's something really weird about me. At my ripe old age, guess what? I cannot wait to go to work today. Isn't that weird? Because I just love what I do. So during these times, just consider having a passion for what you do, being a person of integrity, and being kind, having a servant's heart. I'm telling you, it is so easy right now to be sucked into this thing where you fight and you just scream at people and you just want to punch them. You don't know what they're going through. And you think you might be going through some tough times. Well, they might be going through times a lot harder than you. So think about those things, okay? But I didn't mean to talk so long, but thank you all for letting me visit today. Maybe we can get together sometime next year. I think the last time I was on the Gadsden State campus was maybe over 10 years ago. It's been a long time. So anyway, thank you guys so much for letting me come today and talk for a little bit. Have a great day, and God bless all of you.